here with J-Rod Marketing. I am in Mount Vernon, Texas today with Ketrell Taylor, Sig Taylor Insurance. She's going to give us a little bit of information today. Ketrell and I had the opportunity to sit down and talk about a few things a couple weeks ago, and I thought, how could I not share this information with you? So I'm going to pass you over to Ketrell. Ketrell, tell us a little bit about what you do here in Mount Vernon, and we'll head right into the investments.
Absolutely. So I am Ketrell Taylor. I just recently opened up my own insurance agency, the Sig Taylor Insurance. I've been involved in insurance for the past almost 6 years. Next month will be 6 years. It's kind of hard. Well, not next month, but in June will be 6 years. It's just crazy how time flies. So what I do is I help my clients with their home and auto insurance, help them with life and health insurance, I help them with Medicare. So with those things also comes a need for retirement planning. So we do a lot of retirement planning here. We do a lot of talking to our clients about how to get ready for retirement.
And that was kind of part of our conversation because I am getting older and I've got 3 kids and a lot of life stuff has really happened hardcore, and I found myself thinking, what do I do? Where do we go from here? How can I set my kids up, and how can I set them up if something were to happen to me?
Sure, and that's good. That's what we mamas do. Absolutely, it's important.
So one thing that we really talked about that I love, you were talking about investment opportunities through life insurance. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Tell us about that and how that works.
Okay, so life insurance, I could go on for days talking about life insurance and the importance of that, and I don't think I'll have to do that today. I think everybody understands the need for life insurance. If we don't pursue it and get with it, it's just because, you know, we've chosen not to at this time. I don't think it's because we don't understand the need. So when we're talking about life insurance right now, we're going to be talking about life insurance for the purpose of retirement income. And that's very important because you think about it, when we get to retirement age, is Social Security still going to be there? Probably not, right? Probably not. Now, I mean, I'm sure it'll be there, but not in the way that we're used to. It's not going to be the same. And that is a proven statement. You can go on the Social Security website and learn that for yourself. There is a certain year, and it's in like 2030, it's either 2034 or 2037, that they're saying that the benefit will be reduced. So that's us.
So we need to prepare.
We've got to
be prepared. Now, you stand a chance at having something.
Absolutely.
And I think that, I think we've got it all wrong as far as life is concerned. I think we've put so much into work, so that we can spend, 10, 11 years?
Girl, we've got it backwards.
Life, we've got it so backwards.
Yeah.
So show us how to fix that.
Yeah, so here's some things that you can do. So, and it's not too late for us, even though we're, you're in your 30s, I'm in my 40s, it's not too late for us. There are still things that we can do, but there are really some things that we can do for like my kids that are in their 20s. These are some things that we are doing, some moves we're making, and we'll get into that. So universal life insurance or indexed universal life insurance provides a very unique opportunity for providing income during retirement. So we're talking about a life insurance policy that can provide you income when you get to retirement.
That is super cool.
Kind of mind-blowing, right?
It is.
Want to hear the best part?
Yes.
Okay, so the best part is that you are still getting the death benefit that comes along with life insurance. The whole reason we want it in the first place, if something were to happen to us, our loved ones are going to receive a death benefit to help take care of them in our absence. Not only do you get that death benefit, but you also get an income stream at retirement.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And what does that look like?
Okay, so it just depends on what you want it to look like. That's the cool thing. So I'm working on one right now for my son, literally as we speak. That's what I was working on.
That's awesome.
Right before we started. So that's what I'm working on, is trying to figure out how much income he's gonna need in addition. So he is an electrical lineman. He's in the electrical lineman program at TSTC. And so he is looking at having a really good income. Whenever he gets, done and he gets into the workforce, he's looking at having a really good income. So a lot of times your financial planners will steer you towards investment products like the stock market. They'll steer you towards Roth IRAs. We know there's nothing wrong with either of those. Those are definitely ways to save money and get there to retirement. What my thinking is that I'm not all about the roller coaster that comes along with the stock market, but I sure do like the benefits that come with it.
Right.
So when the stock market's doing well and your stocks that you've invested in are doing well and you're reaping those rewards, that's awesome. But what about those times they're not? I mean, that's not very fun.
That's the scary part for me.
Super scary.
We had talked about investments a while back, and just thinking about, okay, I'm ready to do something, but you know, being a single mom, it's hard to think about what happens if we don't do well.
Right, absolutely. That's 100% true.
But you have a solution for that.
Yeah, because it's scary. It's scary, and that's just not, that's just not something that I'm willing to do. I've never been, a big stock market person. You have to be super, super knowledgeable in the stock market in order to be successful. And trust me, I know people that are very successful in the stock market. I'm just not one of them.
It's amazing.
It's a full-time job.
I think it is a full-time job.
Yeah.
So there's a solution.
So our solution that we're getting to is to be able to have the benefits that come along with the stock market. So to have those benefits of having your money in an indexed universal life policy that is tied to the stock market. So like the S&P 500, the Russell 2000, all of these are options inside of a universal life policy. So indexed universal life, that is really the answer.
Wow.
Because
so
you get the benefits without the risk.
So if it does bad, you're not losing anything.
Your floor is zero. Your floor is zero rather than a negative. So the worst you can do is zero.
Hey, I would take that over a negative.
Absolutely.
I would take that over a negative.
Absolutely.
So how does it work as far as contributing and how do you get it back?
Yeah. So the way that it works is on an index universal life policy, you are contributing because you've got to remember it's a life insurance policy. Okay, it's just a life insurance policy that is able to work as a retirement income strategy for your future retirement. So you are contributing money, you are paying your premium. Okay, so you're paying your premium for your life policy, and then in addition to your premium, let's say your premium is $50 a month, okay, for your life insurance policy. That gets you we're going to call it a $250,000 death benefit. So you're contributing $50 a month for $250,000 in coverage. Okay, that I wish it worked that way. It's not going to work that way. If you go to do a quote, you're not going to get that. But we're just using an example. So if I were to contribute $100 instead, so my premium payment was a $50 premium payment, but I'm paying double that. I'm paying $100 a month. So that $50 is going towards the cost of my insurance. The other $50 is going towards my investing.
That's amazing.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
it's going
that
to my
adds
cash
up.
value. Yeah.
So it could potentially grow through the market.
It will most certainly, absolutely grow through the market.
That's awesome.
Absolutely, it's very exciting. And so let's say we've built, we've started early. We use my son, for example, he's 20, 19 years old, almost 20. So he is going to be contributing, an amount of money, and by the time he's ready for retirement, and who says it has to be 65? That's a whole other conversation that we'll get into, but who says it has to be 65? Let's say 55. He's done. He's like, I'm ready to enjoy my life. I'm ready to go, live my dream. So the money that he's accumulated within his life insurance policy is money that he can use as income. He can start withdrawing that money as income. That's how the policy is designed. He can use that money, use it as income to help supplement his other retirement, such as Social Security and his retirement through his job.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
So how does that work if you're trying to set this up, especially for children? I think that's the best thing that we can do for our children is to set them up financially and to teach them those responsibilities. How does that work with multiple children? And sure, like in my case, I have 3 kids. They're young, and I would love the opportunity to set them up for success when they get older. So do they need separate policies?
Sure, that's a great question, and it's something that I get a lot. Because a lot of times people think of it like a bank account. You know, like a bank account, you can have multiple people on a bank account. So with any kind of retirement account, you know, you've heard the term IRA, stands for individual retirement account. So that kind of gives you a hint where I'm going. It is individual. So each person would have their own separate policy.
Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's great information.
It is.
It's something I wish I'd have known at 20.
Hey, I'm just glad we learned it now.
Yeah.
Because when you told me, my mind was blown that was even an option. These are things that we don't learn, we don't talk about, and that's kind of what brought us here today, is wanting to share that information, because that was the first time, I'm 30, and it is the first time I've ever heard anything like that. So that's amazing, and thank you for sharing it with me.
I am so glad that you were here to listen and that we got to have that conversation. A lot of times I'll be talking to people, and you know, a lot of the people that I talk to don't want to talk about all that. They just want, hey, give me the coverage on my car today. That's what they want. But you know, there are times and there are places where you do, you know, your information falls on the right ears, and I'm glad that it did.
I'm so glad too. I do have another question, insurance related. I have found over the years, back when we were a newly married couple, you know, you buy a house and you have kids, and you know, there's policies everywhere.
Yeah,
Health
everywhere.
insurance, life insurance, car insurance, home insurance, all the things. And I felt like it was so scattered. There wasn't a lot of information about choosing an agent or choosing a policy or anything like that. So what do you think is the most important factor in having somebody local, somebody who works with you?
Sure. So the most important factor is find somebody you trust. Find somebody that you know and trust. You don't really want to do business with a 1-800 number. It might be simple and easy when you're first starting your policy. You know, hey, let me just fill out this little form online, or let me just call this 1-800 number real quick. But what happens when you need them?
Right.
Then you're sitting on hold with a 1-800 number. So first and foremost, regardless of who it is, regardless of where you're located, find someone that you know and trust. Find someone that is, this is my opinion, but find somebody that's an independent agent. And I'll tell you why I say that. An independent agency can shop your policy or policies out through all the top carriers, okay? So, for instance, I can shop out policies through Nationwide, through Allstate, Progressive, Safeco, Travelers, I mean, Allstate, I probably already said Allstate. The list goes on and on and on, really, of who we can do business with. Yeah.
So let's say, you know, asking for a friend, you've had a policy for 10 plus years, and I decide, wow, it is time for somebody local that I can talk to. I'm thinking about all the missed opportunities and just not being able to contact somebody and get what I needed from them. So I have great coverage, benefits for being a loyal customer. Does that change when you switch to somebody local?
So that's a really good question. So there are lots of different discount areas when it comes to insurance. There are definitely longevity discounts. There are bundling discounts. There are also new customer discounts, right? Yeah, so exciting. So that's why you'll see a client, maybe a client has been with, and really this is one of my favorite ones, is a client has been with the same company for 20 plus years, okay? So then they decide, hey, it's time, maybe I need to shop it out. They just stay loyal, you know, to the company. And sometimes that's perfectly fine and well, and just, you know, do it to it and whatever is your comfort level. But then when they do let us shop it out and we are able to say, hey, man, we can save you a buku of money. It just happened to me last week where I was able to save somebody a ton of money. And they were like, wow, I had no idea. So to answer your question, there are lots of different discount areas, and it's up to your agent, the one you know and trust, to find those discounts for you.
Okay. Well, I think it's time for me to get started on that for sure. I definitely could use some help in that department. I mean, like you said, the discounts are great, but I feel like there's a huge link missing. I've been a homeowner, car owner, children, everything. So I think there's some missed opportunities that really help me a lot.
Sure. Yeah, be happy to help.
All right, and And thank you guys for watching. I'll have more for you to come in a couple weeks. We'll be meeting with some other professionals and learning about what they do, how they help the community, and what they can do to help you. Bye.